Great morning, everyone. I saw a video of Trumpenstein and his lovely wife, who looked like she was going to the funeral of the Hamburglar. She had one of her Hamburglar hats on that, that cover her eyes, and wearing a black suit. A purple hat with a black suit. What the heck was that? Who's dressing that woman? Anyway, I'm going to pull cards. We'll look and see what they just have to say this morning. This is the Biblical Tarot that I'm going to use this morning. It's got a very nice silver edging on this, and I like the backs of it. It's got the cross and the dove, and so that's nice. But let's just see what the cards have to say this morning. Okay, so the reading's about, first card out is what's being hidden. The High Priestess. What's being hidden? Energy coming into it is about, the Seven of Feathers, which would be, trying to get away with things. Jacob the Deceiver. So deceptive, hidden things that are going on. Above it, we have the choices in life being made. And the foundation is the shadow. The shadow, the dark, wrestling with the dark, trying to get away with things, being deceptive with with what they're trying to hide. Now, another thing I saw this morning was saying that they were, I guess there's going to be a new Democrat, so they will have enough votes going forward to get a vote on the Epstein, releasing the Epstein files. But I guess all this stuff is going to happen the beginning of October. So we'll see how that plays out. So what's going on today? We have Two of Feathers. God tests Abraham's faith. Okay. So the things may be not so readily seen. Tests happening. Above it, another manipulation as usual. Moses there, the magician, trying to make things happen. And the foundation is, the new cup, Ace of Chalices. The woman at the well. The challenge is the Six of Candles. A victory, the fall of Jericho. Challenge is a victory. Potential outcome has to do with the world. The worldview, what's happening in the world. Above it, King of Candles, so trying to control the energy. And the foundation is an end point, an ending. The death. death of the challenge of a victory in the world, trying to control the energy. That's not happening. We saw when Trump was going over there, that great big huge thing they put right outside Windsor Castle where he's going to stay with him and Epstein. That's great. So above it, they have what they're juggling. You know, this is what he's trying to juggle, being over there. Two of Grains, which is the Two of Pentacles, the stuff he's trying to juggle and manipulate and block and emotionally spin. But the hidden things he's trying to get away with and the stuff he's struggling with on his life path, when it comes to a victory in the world and controlling the energy, is at an end. It's not going to happen. Okay? He can't control it anymore. He's no longer looked at as this strong, competent person, is basically what it's saying. He's no longer the strong, competent person. And he's got the First Lady there, like I said, looking like she's going to the Hamburglar's funeral. So we'll go ahead and do a clarifying read and see what it says about this. So the first thing coming out in the center of it all is the Moon, his delusion. Okay, his mental state, which we know his mental state is dark. It's all over the map. It's watery. It's just, yeah. Above it, his abuse of power, Five of Feathers, which is the Five of Swords. His abuse, what he wants to do is just cut down everybody that's, you know, says anything about him, and the hidden things. Okay, his delusional mind, his abuse of power, what he's trying to hide. So one side of it, we have the message coming out, more concrete message. Now, again, you know, the Epstein things is continuing to go forward. It's not coming out. Above it, we have the Hangman. Okay? Things being overturned. People are seeing from a different viewpoint when it comes to him again. And, yeah, we have the Six. Wasn't there also another Six of Feathers? The Six. Ruth and the Moabite. So it looks like that one in this deck coming together with this greed. The Four of Grains is about greed. What you're gathering and collecting in greed. Oh, that's the Six of Feathers there. That's trying to get to a better place. So it looks like he's going to try, sorry about that, a message being put out, but they're seeing it from a different viewpoint. He's over there with greed, trying to, you know, do something as usual. Okay, we have the other side of it, things up in the air, Seven of Chalices, the things up in the air. What's out there, the temptations, okay? Well, he's always tempted. He's not tempted, he just bows down. So what we have above it, this is the one of empathy, compassion and stuff, which we know he's got none, because he's on his war path, with a foundation of Yeah, wanting to look like he's large and in charge. The emperor, he wants to really think he's a big dictator. Okay? And the world needs to bow down to him. And we've got, okay, yeah, the White House. 4 of feathers would be the, no, okay. No, this is the one of resting. Resting. Mentally resting. So they're not buying into his stuff, is what it is. He's out there being greedy, but they're just, they're like, yeah, no, And above it all, what's driving it is the Queen of Feathers, which is looking for the ultimate truth. Okay, Queen of Swords. Sorry about that. I just got this deck and I'm, trying to navigate my way through it. I have to say it's not my favorite. Okay, not my favorite. The artwork in it is well done, but as far as translating it, it's, it's just not as legible. Okay. So I would say, maybe with this deck, rather than reading like Queen of Feathers, the ultimate truth, it was more looking like, coming together and trying to discuss things, work things out, rather than looking for the ultimate truth. This looks more like, trying to explain themselves to one another is more what that looks like. But anyway, if I read this like regular tarot, we have him being greedy and they're just not buying it. They see in the center of it, his delusional mental state. Okay, the message being put out there, and his temptation, the things that are up in the air with everything, his delusional state, everything that's up in the air, the message that's being put out. The foundation is about, the hidden things and him trying to bully his way into gaining something through his tariffs and the other nonsense he's doing. Above it all, we have his abuse of power, his lack of empathy, and them seeing him from a different viewpoint when it comes to him in leadership and any type of beneficial thing, him doing anything beneficial, they don't see it at all with him. Okay? So looking for the truth of the situation. Okay? They're not buying into any of his crap, let's put it that way. They want the truth and they're not buying what he's trying to sell. He thinks he can just put it out there and everybody's going to swallow what he's saying, hook, line, and sinker. But they're not MAGA. Okay? They're not his MAGA followers, so they're just like, looking at him going, yeah, no. Okay, no. Anyway, that's what I get from the reading this morning. Let me know what you think of this deck. Yeah. It's much easier to read the other decks than it is this deck. But I wanted to give it a shot. I don't know why they would call the swords a sword of truth a feather. Because there's nothing light about the sword of truth. Feather. It tries to make it out to be, so, yeah. Just the lovers. The Garden of Eden. Seven of Candles. I don't know why they would want to do candles instead of staffs. Again, you know, it just confuses the issue. That's the one when you're feeling pushed to the edge. Well, he's just feeling, rather than pushed to the edge, that he's being, you know, somewhat outmatched. Feeling like you're outmatched. But we know how that ended. Goliath went down. David prevailed. So even the iconography that you're using for that, you know, one of them is feeling pushed to the edge. And in this deck, you've got David and Goliath, and that's a whole different, you know, being challenged, being overmatched, having faith. You know, it just presents a whole different feeling with that card. So I'm going to have to sit with that deck a bit more, because it's really a feeling of a different shift. I don't really think I can go with the traditional, with what I usually see those elements meaning. It doesn't feel the same with this deck. I think I would have to interpret this deck much differently than I do my other decks. That's just my feeling on the surface. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.